The streets of Port Charles had witnessed countless tragedies, betrayals, and shocking twists over the years. But nothing could have prepared residents for the devastating chain of events that unfolded when Curtis Ashford's life came crashing down all at once. What began as a routine day quickly spiraled into a nightmare that threatened not only Curtis's freedom, but also the future of his family. As accusations mounted and evidence appeared to point directly at him, Curtis found himself facing the unthinkable: arrest and possible prison time. Meanwhile, across town, Portia Robinson was fighting a battle of her own. Overwhelmed by stress, fear, and heartbreak, she found herself facing a terrifying medical crisis that could change her life forever. The Ashford Robinson family was about to be tested in ways they never imagined. Curtis had spent years building a reputation as one of Port Charles's most respected men. Whether helping friends, protecting loved ones, or uncovering dangerous secrets, he had always tried to do the right thing. That reputation shattered in an instant. The drama began when authorities announced they had uncovered new evidence connected to an ongoing criminal investigation. At first, Curtis wasn't concerned. He believed the truth would prevail. Unfortunately, someone had carefully constructed a case designed to make him look guilty. As investigators reviewed financial records, phone logs, and witness statements, disturbing inconsistencies emerged. Someone had manipulated evidence. Someone wanted Curtis to take the fall. The question was why? Jordan Ashford immediately sensed something was wrong. Having worked in law enforcement for years, she knew when a case felt manufactured. The evidence seemed too perfect, too convenient. Yet despite her concerns, the wheels of justice continued turning. Then came the moment nobody expected. Curtis was handcuffed in public. Residents watched in stunned silence as officers escorted him toward a police vehicle. The sight left many speechless. Even longtime enemies struggled to believe what they were seeing. Curtis looked shocked, angry, and confused. But perhaps most painful was seeing Portia's devastated reaction. She arrived just as officers were leading her husband away. "Curtis!" she screamed. Their eyes met for a heartbreaking moment. He desperately tried to reassure her. "This isn't over," he insisted. But neither of them knew how much worse things were about to become. For weeks, Portia had been carrying a secret. She was pregnant. The news had initially brought tremendous joy. After all the challenges their marriage had faced, the possibility of welcoming another child felt like a miracle. Portia had planned a special moment to tell Curtis. She imagined smiles, celebration, hope. Instead, she found herself watching her husband disappear into a police car. The stress hit her immediately. Doctors often warn expectant mothers about emotional strain during pregnancy. Unfortunately, Portia was experiencing exactly that. As news of Curtis's arrest spread throughout Port Charles, questions and rumors multiplied. Every conversation seemed filled with speculation. Was Curtis guilty? Could he really have committed the crimes? Who was telling the truth? Portia felt trapped in a nightmare. She knew her husband. She believed in him. Yet she also understood how dangerous appearances could be. The pressure became unbearable. Sleepless nights followed. Anxiety consumed her. And with every passing day, her health began deteriorating. Behind bars, Curtis refused to give up. He knew someone was setting him up. The challenge was proving it. Fortunately, he wasn't alone. Jordan immediately launched her own unofficial investigation. So did Anna Devane. Neither woman believed Curtis was guilty. Their instincts told them a larger conspiracy was unfolding. As they dug deeper, surprising clues emerged. Several key witnesses had connections to individuals with questionable motives. Financial records appeared altered. Security footage seemed incomplete. The more they investigated, the clearer the picture became. Someone powerful wanted Curtis silenced. The discovery raised alarming questions. What secret had Curtis uncovered? Who stood to benefit from his downfall? And how far would they go to ensure he remained behind bars? The answers were more dangerous than anyone imagined. While Curtis fought for his freedom, Portia faced an increasingly serious health crisis. At first, she ignored warning signs. She convinced herself everything would be fine. She needed to stay strong. She needed to support Curtis. but the human body has limits. One afternoon, Portia experienced severe pain. Initially, she dismissed it as stress. Then came dizziness, weakness, fear. Before she knew it, she collapsed. Friends rushed her to the hospital. Doctors moved quickly. Tests were ordered, monitors were attached, medical staff exchanged worried glances. The situation was serious, very serious. When test results arrived, the room fell silent. Portia was showing signs of a possible miscarriage. The devastating possibility sent shockwaves through everyone involved. Suddenly, the family wasn't just fighting for Curtis's future. They were fighting for an unborn child's future as well. News travels fast in Port Charles. Even jail walls couldn't keep Curtis from learning what had happened. When he heard Portia had been hospitalized, panic overwhelmed him. Then came the crushing update. The pregnancy was in danger. For a moment, everything else disappeared. The criminal charges, the investigation, the uncertainty. None of it mattered. All he cared about was Portia and their baby. He begged authorities for permission to see her. Initially, requests were denied. Rules were rules. Curtis remained incarcerated. The frustration nearly broke him. Powerless and desperate, he could only wait for updates. Those hours felt like years. Every minute brought new fears. Every phone call created fresh anxiety. Would Portia be okay? Would their baby survive? The uncertainty was torture. Meanwhile, Jordan and Anna continued pursuing the truth. Their efforts finally paid off. A critical witness came forward. What they revealed changed everything. Evidence against Curtis had indeed been fabricated. Even worse, the conspiracy extended far beyond a simple frame-up. A hidden mastermind had orchestrated every detail. This individual had manipulated witnesses, altered records, and engineered Curtis's arrest. The goal wasn't merely embarrassment, it was destruction. Someone wanted Curtis removed permanently. The revelation stunned everyone. Yet proving the truth remained difficult. The mastermind had covered their tracks carefully. One mistake, however, created an opening. A digital trail, a forgotten transaction, a piece of evidence nobody expected investigators to find. Suddenly, the entire case began unraveling. At the hospital, Portia refused to surrender. Doctors explained the risks. The pregnancy remained fragile. Stress levels needed to decrease immediately. Rest was essential. Monitoring would continue around the clock. Hearing those words terrified her. Yet Portia also discovered a new source of strength. The baby. The possibility of becoming a mother again reminded her what was truly important. She couldn't control Curtis's legal situation. She couldn't stop rumors. She couldn't rewrite recent events. But she could fight. And fight she did. Family members rallied around her. Trina remained constantly by her side. Friends offered support. Even individuals who had previously clashed with Portia set aside differences. In moments of crisis, Port Charles often found unexpected unity. This was one of those moments. Days later, Curtis finally appeared in court. The atmosphere was electric. Spectators filled every seat. Reporters crowded hallways. Everyone wanted answers. The prosecution felt confident. They believed conviction was inevitable. Then Jordan and Anna made their move. New evidence was presented. Witness testimony shifted dramatically. Suddenly, cracks appeared throughout the prosecution's case. Gasps echoed across the courtroom. The judge listened carefully. Piece by piece, the conspiracy became visible. The shocking truth emerged for everyone to see. Curtis had been framed. The revelation stunned observers. Even prosecutors appeared blindsided. By the end of the hearing, momentum had shifted completely. The case against Curtis was collapsing. Freedom was finally within reach. Unfortunately, Curtis's legal victory came with devastating timing. Portia's condition worsened. Doctors remained concerned. Complications continued developing. Every hour mattered. As legal proceedings concluded, Curtis rushed directly to the hospital. He feared the worst. What if he arrived too late? What if everything he loved had already been taken from him? The journey felt endless. When he finally reached Portia's room, emotions exploded. She burst into tears. So did he. For several moments, neither spoke. Words weren't necessary. Their embrace said everything. They had survived unimaginable pain. But their greatest challenge remained uncertain. Would their baby survive? After days of fear and uncertainty, doctors delivered long-awaited news. The pregnancy remained viable. The immediate danger had passed. Although risks still existed, the baby had survived. Relief flooded the room. Curtis and Portia cried openly. Family members celebrated. Even medical staff smiled. After so much darkness, they finally received hope. The moment felt miraculous. Not because every problem had disappeared, not because life suddenly became perfect, but because they had been given another chance. A chance to rebuild, a chance to heal, a chance to protect the future they almost lost. Just as Curtis and Portia began recovering, another twist emerged. The mastermind behind Curtis's arrest wasn't acting alone. Evidence suggested additional accomplices remained active. Someone else had participated in the conspiracy. Someone dangerous. Someone still operating within Port Charles. The discovery guaranteed future conflict. Curtis had regained his freedom. Portia's pregnancy had survived. Yet the threat remained. Enemies continued lurking in the shadows, waiting, watching, planning. For Curtis, the fight was far from over. As Port Charles moves forward, countless questions remain unanswered. Will the mastermind face justice? Can Curtis fully restore his reputation? Will Portia's pregnancy continue safely? And what new dangers await the growing family? One thing seems certain. The road ahead won't be easy. Curtis and Portia have survived one of the darkest chapters of their lives. They have endured betrayal, fear, arrest, and heartbreaking uncertainty. Yet they emerge stronger, more united, more determined than ever. In true General Hospital fashion, today's victory may simply be the beginning of tomorrow's storm. And if history has taught viewers anything, it's that peace never lasts long in Port Charles. The next shocking twist may be waiting just around the corner.